Hey!
Hey!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Daniel. Hello, young man.
Just wanted to give Megan a Christmas present.
Oh, and is this your little guy? Couldn't you just eat him? Come here to me. Oh, you're gorgeous. You must stay for dinner. We'll set 2 more places. We have more company.
Well, I'm sure Daniel's got other places to be.
Hey, us Barlows would do anything to avoid Tracy's crusty old nut roast.
Perfect.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 388 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that knew there was something I liked about Will. I'm Gavin.
And I apologise in advance for any phlegm noises that might slip into the podcast here and there.
You're getting a little bit of a Marge Simpson going on there.
A wee bit.
You're poorly.
I am poorly. Why is it the one who, was responsible and got a flu shot this year? Why is that person, and it's up to date on all our COVID shots, why is that person the person who's sick? It's not fair.
Oh, so I should be sick?
Yes.
Well, that's kind of hateful.
Because then maybe you'd take better care of yourself and I wouldn't have to yell at you so often.
But here I am, the picture of health.
Well.
Hey, contrast and compare. I think I got my flu shot this year.
Did you?
I think I might have got it at work.
Oh.
Or was that last year?
They give it to you at work?
I can't remember. I think so.
Yeah, so that you won't miss so many days of work.
I am going to be editing so much this week.
Yes.
Things like that.
Yes, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. God bless us, everyone.
We hope you had a wonderful festive time. How was your festive time, Helen, apart from... Well, you weren't really feeling sick until we go home.
No, I started getting sick once we crossed the border into Connecticut. I started coughing a wee bit.
I thought it was just me that happened to.
So I started getting sick when I was kind of fighting it and also trying to be festive and stuff. And it was kind of nice because a good chunk of our Christmas is lying about in a hotel room doing very little, which for you is doing social media for the podcast, and for me is reading, primary sources of explorations of the North American West and other things. But that predominantly this trip around, although I did do some work, I did some editing work for actual work while we were enjoying our free breakfast at the La Quinta.
When I say that, we won't be doing full notes over the Christmas week because we're on vacation.
Right.
And I end up watching Corrie while we're enjoying our free breakfast at the La Quinta.
Yes.
Plainfield, Connecticut. Highly recommended. I can't help myself. And I end up, I feel like I'm consciously trying to write less.
Yeah.
And I have written less, but not much less.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, but it was nice.
It was good.
Relatively uneventful, which is good.
No animals were harmed?
No animals were harmed. No people were harmed. The gifts were okay. Your gift to me was something I will cherish for. It's up there with the Doctor Who backpack.
Oh.
Is my Stranger Things Minnetonka boots, which I think I mentioned in passing on the List of Lists podcast when we were talking about season 5.
You mentioned it on one of the podcasts, and I took a little note of that.
Yes, you did.
First of all, I had to figure out what the fuck is Helen saying when she's saying Minnetonka, because that sounds like a small toy car to me.
And at a moccasin company.
No. So I was like, oh, they're boots. Oh, okay. Let's see about that. How much?
Handcrafted leather boots. I think you got a bargain.
Helen, it was a bargain just to see the smile and appreciation on your sweet face.
Yes. Yes. They were very much appreciated. My favorite gift of the year.
The only thing I can really remember getting this year was the apron that looked like it had a pig's asshole on it, but I had it upside down. It was actually a hairy man's belly.
Yes. Which is funny.
That belly button looked very
like a
different
pig's
upside
asshole.
down.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And it's funny because you don't have a hairy belly.
That's where all the hair on my chest is around my belly.
Right, yes. But like it's just a little bit, the little circle around your belly button. It's very cute, but there could be more.
It's a decent covering. Anyway, shall we preamble, my dear?
Yes.
Give us some of that festive Corrie news again.
Congratulations to Kim Marsh on the birth of her 4th grandchild on Christmas Day. She's my age. I can't imagine having 1 grandchild, much less 4.
Oof.
Baby's name is Bobby St. Mikola Hazowski. Sadly, not David or Jesus.
I sense that there was a joke in there.
Well, David and Jesus were born on Christmas Day. So,
David Bowie?
David Platt.
Oh, gotcha. We're doing a Coronation
We're
Street
doing
podcast.
a Coronation Street podcast.
I see.
Gav, keep up. Happy 11th anniversary to former Nick Face, Adam Rickett, and Good Morning Britain presenter Katie Rickett, his wife, who he met while he was the face of Nick Tilsley on Good Morning Britain.
I loved Adam Ricketts. He had a 6-pack. And he loved showing it off. And he had the little curtainy hairdo.
Right, yeah. Which is funny because Ben Price,
Ben Price.
Had-
Ben Price.
had a 6-pack on Soccer Wives or
Footballers'
Football
Wives.
Wives. Yes, I call it Soccer Wives because I'm American. But yes, he was quite fit back in the day when he was, doing what I would call a real soap opera with like lots of the sexy bits and the taking off of the shirts and
I think he still looks after himself.
yes,
When he's running and stuff.
right, yeah. Sadly, we don't get very many Nick taking off his shirt scenes.
No. You
So-
wanted to have been watching in the early 2000s for that.
Yeah. Right.
Put a fucking shirt on. Jeez.
Hey, if we occasionally see Steve without a shirt on, which we've seen like 5 times this year,
That's the same thing.
we can see Nick without a shirt on at least once. Come on. Come on, Ben. Show us what you're working with.
It is Christmas.
It is Christmas. And finally, James Cartwright posted about how the recent deaths of his granddad and 2 dogs have led his family to go out for Christmas dinner for the first time ever, saying that it's just too lonely about the house without granddad and the puppers.
Oh, that's a wee shame.
So, yes, it's a wee shame. Of course, if it had happened to his alter ego, Theo, it would not be a wee shame. We would delight in seeing Theo lose loved ones.
Would we?
Yes. Especially if it included Danielle and the kids.
No, I want to see him stuck back with them.
That would be hilarious. That's Corrie News.
That's our festive Corrie News.
Ho, ho, ho.
The Corrie News leads us on a sleigh ride through virgin snow to the white hinterland of our feedback section that I like to call Everyone's a Critic.
Physical mail!
Physical mail!
Yay, physical mail.
Tons of physical mail.
I get to read out stuff.
It's almost like people have been waiting for you to have a
Creaky voice.
creaky voice too.
Yes. Or also, Christmas. And also, it's my own damn fault because half of this came last week and I didn't check the box.
You didn't.
And you asked me to check the box. So we were blessed with 2 postcards from Canadian Helen this week. One from the Oakville Museum at Ercliffe Estate.
We've been to Oakville.
We have. We like Oakville. There's a good British shop there.
There was a pub called the Charles Dickens, I think, that was serving haggis poutine.
Yes. Yes. That's why we drove to Oakville
That's why we drove for 4.5 hours or whatever.
for haggis poutine.
And square sausage.
Right, yes. We have driven to Canada just to watch a movie, so it's one of the perks of living so close. And also the Centerville Amusement Park in the Toronto Islands.
We haven't been there.
No, we've been to Toronto, but not the islands. The Oakville Museum postcard reads, Dear Helen and Gavin,
That's us.
this museum is not too far from where I live. Helen would love it. Cheers from Canadian Helen. It's a 4-acre heritage property of provincial significance overlooking Oakville Harbor and 16 Mile Creek.
That does sound like something that you'd be interested in.
Ercliffe was home to 6 generations of Chisholms, Oakville's founding family. The Centerville Amusement Park reads, oh, and it's got this cute little squirrel stamp. Look at the squirrels. Our squirrels are getting a bit randy out there. I don't know if you've noticed.
I just remember the one that threw itself in front of the car as we were driving to Connecticut.
There were like 4 up a tree in Janet's yard earlier today. And while I was staring at that car that was parked in our front yard earlier, I noticed 2 kind of chasing one another's tails up and down the tree in our front yard that has a penis. Dear Helen and Gavin. The tree in our front yard has like a weird growth on it that appears.
Please talk about it more.
Like our tree has a penis, which I first noticed during the pandemic because what else was I going to do? Anyway, I thought you'd love to receive a postcard from Centerville Amusement Park. It's a fun, magical summer place located in the Toronto Islands. My favorite is the antique carousel ride. I would also adore that because there's a Rocky Neck in Connecticut, where I grew up, has an antique carousel ride. Warmest regards from Canadian Helen. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Canadian Helen. Those will go on to our cork board.
2 lovely postcards. Now, this is a Christmas card.
Well, it is Christmas.
Yes. That has also come from Canada. It's come from Gail.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail.
Merry Christmas.
It's got poinsettia and 3 balls.
Impressive.
Don't make me laugh. Gavin and Helen, warm wishes for a wonderful Halloween. Warm wishes for a wonderful holiday season. Am continuing to thoroughly enjoying your podcast every week. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and happy, healthy New Year. Well,
thank you very much,
happy
Gail.
anyway.
We will
Gail,
try.
in parentheses, in Canada.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail. All right, now we have a postcard. And this is another postcard from Canadian Helen. We've got 3 postcards. This is from
She did warn that she was going to send a
Stratford.
ton of postcards.
Dear Helen and Gavin,
That's us.
Here's a postcard from Stratford, Ontario. Stratford is a beautiful theater city. We recently saw the Anne of Green Gables production there. It must be nice to watch an Anne of Green Gables production in Canada, even if it's not in Prince Edward Island, which is where Anne of Green Gables is set.
Oh, I thought it was in Wales.
No.
That's how green is my valley. Sorry.
Yes. Completely different.
Slightly.
Yeah. I don't remember there being a red-headed orphan whose pigtails got pulled by a boy
Down the mine.
who called her carrots. Anyway, warmest and best regards from Canadian Helen.
Thank you again,
Thank you
Canadian
again,
Helen.
Canadian Helen.
We're filling up the spaces on our corkboard
Right.
with exclusively Canadian Helen postcards.
And finally, we've got this non-machinable Christmas card.
What does that mean?
It means it can't run through the machine, like the sorting machine,
Oh, why not?
because it's too thick.
Oh, that's what she said.
This comes to us from Virginia. The state, not a person named Virginia.
Okay.
All right. And it says the sweetest season on the front. And watch this. Ready?
Oh, no, there's going to be glitter in it.
Are you
isn't there?
ready? Bloop.
Ah!
Oh. Sorry, that was the back. Look at that pop-up gingerbread house. Isn't that delightful?
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I'm going to have to figure out a way to pin it so that you see the gingerbread house. Dear Gavin Hell.
That's us.
May your holidays be a real treat. Thanks for another year of Corrie joy from Australian Caroline and Virginia Beach Amy.
Thank you very much, Caroline and Amy.
XXX.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes.
That's a classy card.
It is a classic card. It's a Hallmark signature card.
See, you could just tell.
Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful. Is that the lot?
That is a lot.
Thank you very much, everybody. That's
Thank you very much.
kind. Leah writes in more 21st century means. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
Thank you for always providing excellent content every week. It's been such a pleasure to listen. Well, thank you very much for that, Leah. We also got some negative feedback from someone that had honestly meant to write it down on Spotify, where they thought our podcast is horrid. Well, thank you for that as well.
Wait, who thought our podcast?
I can't remember. It was letters and numbers.
No. Yeah. Most people love us, so...
Well, most people don't listen to us. Feedback is always welcome. Send us your thoughts and I will probably read them out. Get us at thetalkofthestreet@gmail.com, or DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. And we love it when people write actual letters to us, as I think we just proved. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but only in the interests of brevity. And now we'll podcast for coffee. Thank you to French Helen for our coffees this week.
Thank you, French Helen.
French Helen writes, Joyeux Noël. I used to be able to pronounce that properly.
Yeah.
Joyeux. It's French for Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Thank you very much, French Helen. We very much appreciate it. And I think we did have a Joyeux Noël.
Yeah.
Although the day part of it was really spent
driving
860 miles.
To escape a winter storm.
Which we successfully avoided.
We did.
But it did mean that our Christmas dinner this year, which we normally like to get in an Indian restaurant somewhere, was in the town of Moosic, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Just outside Wilkes-Barre.
It was fantastic.
And it was a wonderful
It was very good.
feast.
It was the Indian restaurant was inside an old 1950s diner.
So my brain was very confused.
Yes. What's it called? Naan and...
Kebab and naan.
Kebab and naan. Yes.
The place that we were going to go was closed, even though it said it was open on Google.
Right, yes. So, just so everybody knows, there are at least 2 Indian restaurants in the town of Moosic, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
That's MOOSIC.
I had the lamb vindaloo, maybe a little too many potatoes in it and not enough lamb, but it was still very good.
And I got paneer.
And a
Paneer
basket
shrimp.
of bread.
Oh my God.
That she said, you know this is for 4 or 5 people, right?
And we said yes.
Absolutely.
Bring it on.
Do you love a bit of naan?
Yes. And it was like the best naan we've ever had.
Oh, it was superb.
And I've had naan in 4 countries, and you have had it in 5. So we know what we're talking about, even though none of those countries are India.
Or Pakistan. Yep. The Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on YouTube. So if you think our show is worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it, and if you want to show your appreciation or if you want more weekly and monthly content, here are your options. You can sign up to be a friend of the podcast for as little as $2 a month. Sign up at patreon.com/Talk of the Street, ko-fi.com/Talk of the Street, or hit the join button on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Talk of the Street podcast. Friends of the podcast get access to our weekly spoiler show, the Talk of the Street Spoiler Alert, and our monthly classic Corrie show, the Talk of the Street Classics. And if that wasn't enough, you also get a shout out at the end of every podcast and your name on the credits of the flagship. Even more than that, if you sign up to be a friend of the podcast, you now get access to our Discord server.
Woo!
We have a Discord server.
We have I don't even know what Discord is.
And
Our oldest child keeps trying to get me onto Discord, as does some of my Pokemon Go friends.
well,
but,
our youngest child says, why are you bothering with Discord in 2025?
yeah. It's
So-
like bothering with Tumblr.
Well, I remember Tumblr.
It still exists.
Is Pinterest still a thing?
Pinterest is definitely still a thing. That's where I have my tattoo ideas board.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a Discord server where you can chat with us, or me, and other friends of the podcast. And thank you to Tina for giving me a nudge in that direction. I really didn't know anything about Discord a few days ago, and I still don't feel like I know an awful lot about it, but I know more than I did. And I'm quite enjoying it. It's a nice wee place to just pop down your thoughts on episodes and
Yeah.
things and wee updates and stuff. So
It's more of like a chat place
I think so.
than a post place.
I'm still very much getting my toes wet on it, so bear with me. But the
Sexy.
group is expanding, so yet another reason, if you're holding on to a couple of bucks a month that you can throw our way and become a friend of the podcast if you so desire. If you prefer something a little less formal, you can also buy us next week's coffee like French Helen did. Thank you again, French Helen, by going to ko-fi.com/talk of the street. And all our links can be found at linktree/Corrie podcast. But remember, you can always support the podcast for free. Get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts.
No. So what are you drinking?
Oh, coffee. Actual coffee.
Right, yes.
Because this is Saturday afternoon.
Yes, because I'm sick, so we couldn't do it last night.
And you're drinking a ginger tea?
I am drinking a Breathe Right yogi tea.
Oh, I thought it could smell ginger.
I think there's some ginger in it. It's very medicinal.
I like a ginger tea.
Who doesn't? Ginger's the greatest.
Ginger and turmeric.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Love a bit of turmeric.
All right, shall we dive in to our festive run-through, my dear?
Yes, please.
We will start our Christmas week recap with Sucks to be a Webster. On Monday, Carl has stolen around 18 grand from Debbie over the last 3 weeks, according to his online statement. Not bad going.
Nope.
Meanwhile, it's Monday morning, so it's stag and hen do time. What better time to have a stag or a hen do than the Monday morning? Debbie gets texts from this Elaine character, who I thought was her wedding planner, desperate to speak with Carl, so it's not the wedding planner, but she dinges it in favour of lunging around and skipping her hen do. Carol's presence at the madness-themed stag do is enough to send Kev home in a huff, but luckily everyone remembers that they don't really care about Kev, so they can get on with it without him.
Yes.
Being a madness-themed, it's a little...
lot of pork pie hats.
Pork pie hat.
Yeah.
Complete Madness was the first album that I listened to on a Walkman.
How do you remember shit like that?
No idea.
I could not tell you the first cassette I listened to on a Walkman. It was probably Rick Astley, but I don't know for sure. It was either Rick Astley or Def Leppard.
You're so cool.
I am.
Carl's supposed to pick up Alfie to take him to Santa's grotto, but then he gets a call that troubles him. And we learn that his mother has died.
Dum dum dum.
Carl is very upset about this and apologises to Abby for being the sort of person not even a mother can love. But when Kev finds out about it, he's shocked that Carl feels anything, as he hated his mum and doesn't give a fuck about anything or anyone, and will already be thinking about the money he's due. The hen do goes well without Debbie until they play Never Have I Ever, and Bernie can't think of anything. Debbie gets a message to go see Carl, and we learn that Elaine was his mum. So Elaine was continually phoning, or trying to phone Debbie.
Yes.
And she was dinging the calls.
Right, and
was
she had that
dead
post-
hours later.
And she had that Post-it note that said, call Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
So she meant to call her back. And she doesn't. She better get rid of that Post-it note.
Right. Yeah, feed that one to the dog.
Do they have a dog?
They should buy a dog.
Yeah, just to feed it
that
Post-it
can
notes.
eat Post-its.
Yes.
So she tells him that she hasn't spoken to Elaine since Bill died, her dad. Back home, she tells Ronnie about this and how Carl must never find out. Carl is too interested in a hookup with James to rid him of the dead mum bad vibes. Now, I'm seeing some speculation online, and this feels ridiculous to say, that Debbie
Is Carl's mum?
is Carl's mum.
Yeah, I don't think that works.
Had you seen this as well?
I saw articles that said fans certain of who Debbie's secret son is, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. So I didn't click on them.
Right.
But I did see a funny post saying, why is Carl always dressed up like an Afghani uncle? And that's funny. Because he's especially dressed up like an Afghani uncle this week with that vest.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that was Tom. Credit where credit's due. I believe that was Tom who posted on Blue Sky. Why does Carl always look like an Afghani uncle? How old is Debbie? Because they all have the same dad, right? That's how they're all siblings.
Bill, yeah. Carl was born in 1986, which makes him coming up for 40. And Debbie is 57.
Okay, so not beyond the realms of possibility.
You know, age-wise it's possible.
But still, it seems ridiculous.
And she was out of Coronation Street when Carl would have been born.
Right. Was Carl born on the street?
No.
No.
This is the first that we've ever seen them.
Which seems weird, doesn't it?
It feels like the sort of stunt that 2025 or 2026 Corrie would pull.
It feels like the sort of stunt that 2025, 2026 Corrie would write in just because lots of fans have been saying it, just like the whole stupid Becky thing.
Mm-hmm. But then that makes you wonder who the dad would be, because presumably...
It would not be Bill, because that would be
Bill.
gross.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need an incest story towards the end of Debbie's dementia story.
The only thing that this theory sort of supports is the fact that Debbie and Carol, especially from Debbie to Carol, Debbie feels very protective of her wee brother, but that's because it's her wee brother.
Right, he's
and there
the
is
youngest.
such a big age difference.
Right, yeah. I used to feel this way about my youngest brother, and my mum felt that way about her youngest brother.
Yeah,
So,
it's a sibling love.
Right. You take care of the baby.
I really hope not, and I'm feeling that the way that things go this week, that Carol's not going to be in it long enough for this to matter, because we very much should be getting blown up next week. So on Wednesday, James and Carl didn't hook up yesterday, and Carl is no longer in the mood and is working when James shows up at the rape hotel with a saucy look in his eye. Carl dingies him, so James wonders what Abby would think about all this and low-key threatens him. Carl's furious, so plays the dead mum card. James, though, thinks this is further evidence of Carl being made of secrets. I've got to say, I did wonder if this was something that Carl was genuinely upset about. It's hard to tell, because that whole narcissist thing means it doesn't really care about anybody.
He seems genuinely upset, but he seems more upset by the fact that his mum didn't tell him she was sick, more than the fact that she's dead.
I thought he was playing up the sadness because he was leading towards, I need to go back to Germany now. And that's his escape route.
Why would he need to go back to Germany because of his dead mum? Because he's sad?
Well, because she's dead and presumably she needs a funeral.
Right, but she's not in Germany, is she?
Well, I thought she was.
I don't think so. Why would she be in Germany?
Because that's where Carl was born.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Elaine.
Yeah, she doesn't need to be German.
I don't think...
His dad's name was Bill.
Right, yeah. I didn't think she was in Germany.
I just assumed that she was.
Huh.
And getting an excuse to leave without making anyone suspicious until after he's gone would seem to be ideal. But maybe she's not in Germany, I just assumed.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day then, Abby's off to open presents with Jack and Kev, leaving Carl up to his own devices at the scummy flat.
And Alfie. Alfie will be there too.
Oh, presumably. He meets James on Maxine's bench and they're both down in the dumps, so decide to get their hole after all. At Kev's, he suggests that he and Abby watch the Polar Express together, and this must be code for something between the two of them, because she's got her jacket on in a flash and out the door, dragging Alfie behind her. Leaving early, eh? Post-hole, Carl gets Abby's text that she's on her way, so it's a mad charge to get dressed and for James to get the fuck out of the flat. So he calls her and sends her off on a random errand to delay her, allowing James to make good his escape.
Yeah, to get his charger out of the glove box in the car. Who leaves their charger in the glove box in their car?
Not even Carl.
No.
When Abby gets back, she's so desperate for her hole that she ignores that Carl is smelling different, and a chain and a pendant is on the sofa that Carl says that he found between the cushions. Or does she ignore it? Because she has a little...
She does have a look.
little look back.
Found it between the cushions, did you, Carl?
Mm-hmm.
Ha. Those aren't pillows. I'm making an allusion to planes, trains, and automobiles.
Steve Martin's face. On Friday, Nina rolls Abby is giving Carl the cold shoulder, which is seen by Tracy, and then handily, as Carl leaves, in comes Michael, and he's wearing the same chain that Abby saw yesterday, and Michael is only happy to explain that he and James got the same one from Maggie for Christmas. Meanwhile, Carl accuses James of leaving the chain deliberately, but then reveals that he's got plans to dump Abby soon enough. And at the tail end of this, we see that Abby's come round the corner and she's seen their exchange. So she accuses Carl of being up to something dodgy with James. Carl says that he wanted James to line him up some clients for nicked cars. And Abby's still fucking furious about this and about how this threatens everything and everything that she gave up. And all this illegal to and fro just isn't good and she could lose her kid and all that sort of stuff. Carl promises to bring it to an end, but he already has a couple of grand stashed away for her and her kid, Albert, or whoever he's called. She goes to the pub to speak to James about all this, but James just confirms that what Carl had suggested is true and then quickly leaves. Tracy sticks her neb in, suggests that if she thinks that Carl is up to something, then he absolutely is. Back at the flat, with Carl passed out, Abby gets into his phone and immediately finds his horny texts with James. Say what you like about Kev, Abby, but he wouldn't be sucking Tyrone's cock behind your back. And that's as far as we get with that.
As far as we know, you can't make that assumption.
I think I can, and I think I have. So finally, Abby knows.
Abby
and it
knows.
looked like Abby was doing her absolute damnedest to ignore evidence as it presented itself. To be fair, there wasn't a huge amount of hard evidence, if you like. Because why would she even suspect that Carl might be bisexual?
Yes.
So the fact that he's meeting up with James or he's going training with James or any of that sort of stuff would just be kind of normal.
Right.
Or normal within the realms of a heterosexual relationship.
Right, yes.
So I can forgive her for being sort of blind to this. It maybe seemed that she was being willfully blind to it on Christmas when she smelt the aftershave.
Right.
And she found dependent. But yeah, that's it. She knows.
I'm a little bummed that James didn't tell her himself. Because I was really looking forward to that. For James to be the bigger man in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, would she have believed James?
Abby from a year ago, 2 years ago, has definitely blown up Carl's car because of this.
Yeah.
Abby today, I've got a horrible feeling next week, and maybe you have a better idea about this from your spoiler alert research. I don't know that yet. But my fear is that Abby knows that this isn't just splitting up with somebody. This is her on her own. She doesn't have a job. She's got that flat in the precinct for as long as she can pay the rent on it. And no support network. Because Kev has essentially washed his hands of the whole thing. So for fear of that, and for fear of having to go back crawling to Kev, I've got a horrible feeling that Abby's just going to turn a blind eye to this.
Next week is the wedding. So I really don't feel like Abby, of that family, I really don't feel like Abby and Carl are going to be given that much airtime. So we'll see.
So if there's a wedding, then maybe Abby is parking it, at least until the wedding is over. And maybe that makes it a lot easier just to keep it parked. She has got so much to lose.
Right.
I just don't see her wanting to make her life and Alfie's life deliberately more difficult when there's the potential to just keep on keeping on.
I just don't want her to get back together with Kev, and I'm worried that that's where this is all going to lead.
I think eventually that is where this is going to go.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So long as no one ever mentions the Polar Express again, they're golden.
It's funny because you'd think that she would have at least left Alfie to watch the Polar Express with Kev and Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's a spooky as fuck creepy valley.
It is Uncanny Valley very much, especially since, Tom Hanks is playing more than half the cast.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare, isn't it?
It is kind of like a nightmare. And shares very little with the actual picture book. which is only like 20 pages.
And doesn't feature Tom Hanks at all.
No.
Well, we will see where that one goes. I really hope, though, that at some point Carl's Audi gets blown up. It's just tradition. All right, we'll move on to the lonely grave of Tia Wardley. On Monday, Swain is upset by a message from Carla supposedly wanting to sort out the finances when she gets back. She also tells Becky that Costello has been transferred to a therapy place to speed up his recovery, so Becky steals Swain's police ID that she leaves lying around and is off to the hospital in a flash, where she hangs around for an unspecific length of time before Costello is finally wheeled out, and then she commandeers his transportation ambulance.
Wheeled out, importantly, into the ambulance of Asha's friend and co-worker, what's her name?
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
In front of Asha.
Yes.
And what's her name?
Yes.
And Becky has to speak to what's her name, saying, no, I've got it. Police escort. And what's her name says, I don't remember there being one on here, but oh well, you've got a badge. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to look at it too closely and make sure that this is your actual name. I'm just going to, fuck off and get a cup of tea with Asha.
Well, somebody's still going to drive the ambulance.
Right, yeah.
Becky's not driving it.
But I think she was supposed to be the one in the back with Costello, importantly. So then instead, Costello is alone in the back of an ambulance with no medical personnel whatsoever back there to make sure that he's still alive when they get to the rehab facility.
Mm-hmm.
It's just him and Becky. And apparently the people in the front can't hear them speaking to one another. Because that window should be open just in case there's an emergency.
None of this makes any sense.
No.
The fact that Swain once again has been...
This whole storyline doesn't make sense.
So Basil exposition to Becky. Oh, by the way, Costello, it's important that you know that this is going to happen. Oh, when's it going to happen? Well, I don't know exactly, but it's going to happen today. So Becky can just hang about all day.
Right.
On the off chance that this is the exit that Costello's going to come out.
And Swain is not suspicious at all that Becky just takes off.
Right.
And also doesn't wonder where her badge is.
So, in the back of the ambulance, Becky warns Costello to keep her name out of his mouth or she'll bring down his whole family, and she manages to get Costello to agree. What Becky doesn't seem to notice is a sign warning that they are on security camera.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to be important or not.
I feel like it might.
I feel like it probably should have been already.
Yeah. But does a security camera pick up voices or just images?
Well, it depends if you're having a special episode of Coronation Street or not.
That's true.
After a trip into town, Swain is upset when she sees Carla posting #LivingMyBestLife photos from the Canaries.
Which is weird because that's totally not something Carla would ever do.
No. And to her credit, Swain does seem to think that this is uncommonly cruel for Carla to do something like this. And she doesn't think that it's Carla. Betsy encourages her to go off to the sun too because she's a fucking idiot. Turns out, though,
Betsy, that is,
that the paramedic driving the ambulance was, as you said, Asha's mentor. And Asha remarks about how weird the copper was and how she looked like she really needed a good wash. On Wednesday, Becky continues to undermine Carla with Swain with hot Christmas cocoa and criticism. Meanwhile, Betsy spills to Dylan that she's off to Spain soon.
With her auntie.
When he suggests that they go steady or whatever.
They go ice skating.
Carla, is that what the young kids say these days instead of going steady? Do you want to go ice skating with me?
Well, he was being very subtle, saying, "Oh, there's this ice skating place that has opened up, and for like our whole Christmas break, you can get a pass that you can go every day." And I was just thinking that, maybe we could go every day, just you and me. My throat being messed up has been really, really excellent for me to impersonate Dylan.
I find it uncanny.
It's weird.
So yeah, let's go ice skating every day. Just casually, every day.
Yeah, every day.
Carla isn't answering Swain's emails or Sarah's.
Can you ice skate?
I wouldn't imagine so.
I know for a fact that I cannot.
I've rollerbladed maybe twice and hurt myself twice. So I don't imagine that ice skating is something that I'm meant to be doing.
No.
Just like rollerblading, but cold.
Yes. And potentially falling through the ice and dying of hypothermia.
You're talking about alfresco ice skating?
Yes.
I've definitely haven't done that. I haven't walked on ice over a frozen lake or anything.
Really? Oh, you've never
Yeah.
lived.
No. Not the whole boat drowning thing.
Right, yes.
Very much associated with walking on ice.
Don't worry, the hypothermia would get to you before you drown.
There's a new museum for the Titanic that's opened in New York, and they have a barrel of water that's at the temperature that the Atlantic would have been at that time, roughly.
Uh-huh.
And they challenge people to keep their hand in that water for as long as possible. And if you get above 20 seconds, apparently that's quite impressive.
Why didn't we stop there on our way back? Oh, winter storm.
Winter storm.
Yeah. Next time.
And they do a sensual, what it would be like to be trapped behind the grates in corridors as the water level rose, which I think is my worst nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to experience that.
Immersive. That's the word I
Immersive,
was
yeah,
looking for.
not sensual.
Not sensual. Sensual was a
different-
different museum. Later, Becky gives Swain a neck massage for about 5 seconds and then starts kissing her neck. Swain doesn't put a stop to it, and in fact encourages it, and they get their hole.
Gross.
Afterwards,
So gross.
when she said don't stop, her face didn't look like she was saying don't stop. Her face looked like she was saying stop.
She looked torn.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
We'll give her that credit, I think.
this feels good, but I shouldn't be enjoying it and I shouldn't be encouraging it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since, almost immediately afterwards, she's going to leave a voice. Why do people keep doing this? Why do people not leave voicemails anymore? They just record a voice message onto the text.
On the notes.
Yeah. Why? Why do people do that?
I haven't ever done that.
No, but kids do it. Our kids do it.
Yeah. Do you know what I also do that kids don't do?
What?
Punctuate my text messages.
You're so cool.
Afterwards, Becky's put out when Swain doesn't immediately want to become a family again.
Right.
And she calls Carla a tourist. But later, Swain sends a voice note to Carla declaring
The
her...
word you're looking for, Becky, is bisexual, not tourist.
But later, Swain sends a voice note to Carla declaring her undying love and wanting her back.
So the sex couldn't have possibly been very good.
Carla sends back a message saying that they need to move on, but then we see that it's Becky in her stupid flat that we forgot that she had.
Hunched down,
And she
weirdly.
has Carla's phone, and she has Carla gagged and bound in her closet. And
In
not,
a closet?
And not in a good way. Carla has now been kidnapped or held hostage 3 times in this calendar year.
So fucking stupid.
So at what point did she... So I'm thinking, when did this happen? Because Carla left for the Canaries
Right.
2 weeks ago?
Yes. Well, we get this conversation a little later between Becky and Carla, where supposedly Carla...
Oh, well, we will get to this, but
Yeah.
at this point, I'm still very confused over how
Right.
long this has been
and
a thing.
And this conversation is not going to help because you're still like, when exactly did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Because Becky has been like more or less permanent at Swain and Carla's house
Right.
this whole time. And was at Swain and Carla's house the whole time that day after Carla left. So when exactly did these events happen? It doesn't make any sense.
So the only thing that I think was meant to be something that we spotted and think back to is when Swain, after telling Carla that they were over, has one of our trademark changes of mind and is about to go to the airport to intercept Carla
Right.
getting on her flight, and Becky tells her not to.
Right.
But Swain is dead set on going.
Right.
Until she gets a text message from Carla saying, "Stop calling me. I just want some space."
Right.
But Becky's in the room when that happens.
Right. Yes.
So that must have been a genuine message from Carla.
Who knows?
And when we get the explanation, it doesn't really help.
It doesn't. It makes things even more confusing, frankly. Except, of course, how on earth Becky could overwhelm Carla and get her in that house. That's the only thing that explains.
Because I thought this was the flat at the precinct
Yeah.
that Becky had got.
Right.
And I don't think it is,
No, I think this is her.
as we will learn again
Right.
in a little bit.
Yes.
Is what Swain did with Becky cheating?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Again, lots of conversation about this online because apparently
We were
people
on a
said
break.
apparently we were on a break. They had split up, so how could it possibly be cheating?
My issue is that she goes and has sex with Becky, and then like less than 24 hours later is
Like half an hour later.
is sending a voice memo to Carla saying, "You're the one that I want.
The one that I really want.
Ooh, 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 honey." And so that feels really icky to me.
I think it's a bit of a grey area. I can see it both ways.
But also, you know, it feels like it proves Carla's point, doesn't it? Because Lisa kept insisting, "Oh no, Becky doesn't want me back. Oh no, I don't want Becky back. You're the only one that I want, Carla. I have no feelings like that for Becky anymore, and Becky doesn't feel that way for me anymore."
Despite
despite all of the evidence contrary. See, you would think when Becky starts kissing her neck and stuff, she would say, "Oi, cut it out." I've already said, and I've said to Carla that we were not getting back together. I've told you that we're not getting back together. She tried to kiss her in the bathroom, remember? And Christina saw it.
Tried to have a shower with her.
Right, yeah.
So many examples of this.
Right. So if you allow yourself this, it kind of proves Carla's point that maybe you aren't as faithful as you said you were.
A point that I've seen being made a number of times is Swain had to fuck Becky to realise that she doesn't want to fuck Becky.
You shouldn't have to fuck
And
someone.
that feels very apologist.
You shouldn't have to fuck someone to know that you don't want to fuck them. You should know that already. If you have to fuck them to figure out you don't want to fuck them, there's a problem. There's a problem there. I'm very disappointed in Lisa for this.
Yeah, this is her. She knows now that she doesn't want this because she's tried it and she doesn't want it.
Becky's terrible and smelly.
Oh, just the occasional wash, Becky. It makes a world of difference. On Christmas Day, Evelyn's back.
Yay!
And after a run-in with Ryan, who's rushing off to work, Roy explains to her the situation at number 6, and she's dying to know the goings-on at Lesbian Ranch.
Carla's bisexual.
At number 6, Swain is upset when she gets a text from Roy telling her that Carla never checked into her hotel in the Canaries. Becky doesn't think this is a big deal and nips off to take care of something all of a sudden.
Right, yeah. She's like, "Oh, well, maybe she just decided to stay somewhere else in the Canaries." And it's like, why would she do that? She had a reservation.
She goes to see Carla. Right, so she never got on the plane. She never left.
Well, they don't have proof that she never left, but they do have proof that she never checked into the hotel.
She goes to see Carla and feeds her Christmas dinner and rubs it in about getting her hole with Lisa last night. But Becky is so fucking terrible at this.
She's so gross.
She leaves Carla's phone on the floor, and when her back is turned, Carla hides it under her feet. But when she accepts a call from Betsy, Becky is over like a shot, brandishing a knife in exactly the way I'd expect a former copper to brandish a knife. She's holding it like... the way that she's holding it is so cartoon. It's like a breeze is going to knock it out of her hand.
Right, yeah.
It's dreadful.
You half expect Carla to say, "Fuck it," and, you know, tell Betsy to call the police because she's being held captive and this is the address. Because what sort of damage could Becky do, honestly, in that amount of time? Carla could probably kick that knife out of her hands, even with her feet tied together.
So Carla's feet are tied together.
Yeah.
And her hands are tied together.
Yes.
And her hands are tied together in front of her.
Yeah.
Which makes it very easy for her
For
to
to
reach,
remove the gag, yeah.
reach to the gag that's
How is
on
she
her.
going to the bathroom?
And also untie her feet. I was worried about her kidney medication.
Right, but Becky is
they
giving her
they do mention
medication.
that, which I thought I was pleased about. I'm glad that we're acknowledging that.
She's at least better than her last kidnapper,
Yes.
who was himself close to dying of, kidney rejection shit as well.
So Carla tells Betsy that she's staying at the Rhubarb Hill Hotel now, at the Blessing Suite, and hopes that Betsy will go on to tell someone with more than half a brain. Now,
A.K. Kit.
the Rhubarb Hill Hotel.
Right.
Rhubarb Hill is in Yorkshire, where Emmerdale is. So, this is...
But also, it's what Costello said to Carla, remember? Rhubarb Hill.
Yes.
And then Carla said it to Kit. So if Betsy tells Kit that Carla's at the Rhubarb Hill Hotel, this will trigger to Kit that Carla's been kidnapped.
One would hope.
Because Kit actually seems to be still a smart cop, even if he's bent.
This is something that is tying the two universities together.
Right, because if unfortunately we don't hear Betsy tell anybody what the name of the hotel is.
She doesn't. She just says she's checked in somewhere else.
Right, which is upsetting. But, I mean, I feel like anybody hearing Rhubarb Hill Hotel would say, that's not in the Canaries.
Do they have rhubarb in the Canary Islands? Who knows?
I would assume if they did, it's shipped in from colder climes.
And it's maybe the Spanish for rhubarb.
Which is what?
Oh, God, this is going to make it sound like I'm making this up. It's rhubarbo.
That sounds about right. Because I'm sure it's not native to Spain. So they would probably take the original name and just add no to it.
It's actually pronounced rhubarbo.
Rhubarbo. That sounds right.
It's a masculine noun.
Yes. Well, rhubarb does look masculine, doesn't it?
I don't think that's how they decide, though, is it?
One would assume that might have something to do with it.
I don't think it does, because I think vagina is masculine in French.
Of course it would be. Of course vagina in France would be masculine.
After the call, there's some horrible exposition where Carla reveals that Costello gave her the address of this flat, this, what would you call it?
Safe house?
Safe house. And Becky caught her breaking into it, or something along those lines.
Right, yes. Yes, and just completely skips over the fact that Carla was in cahoots with Kit for all of this. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure Kit knows the address for the safe house as well. I'm pretty sure Carla told him. But she obviously didn't tell him that she was going to break into the safe house.
I don't think she told him anything about the safe house.
I thought for sure that they had a conversation last week.
No, she removed herself from it after the Rhubarb Hill revelation. And she said, you know what, because of plot, I'm no longer interested in this. And kind of left Kit
but
on his lonesome about it.
But also, why on earth would now be the time that Carla tries to break into the safe house?
This is why it doesn't make any sense.
No. She's like, I'm off to the Canaries, but on my way with my big clunky suitcase. Where's her big clunky suitcase?
Yeah, I don't care about this kit, but I really do care about it. And I'm going to the Canaries, but I'm not going to the Canaries. I'm not going to tell anybody what I'm doing.
Right. And also...
And I'm going to go and speak to Costello again.
I'm going to drag this big, massive suitcase with me.
All over the place.
Right. And it's just going to disappear conveniently. Unless it's in the closet with her behind her.
Yeah, and that's where all my kidney meds are.
Right. You're going to break in with a big, massive suitcase.
With kidney meds.
Right. To
last a number of weeks.
Yeesh. Yeah. None of this makes sense.
Becky's main point of attack is to belittle Carla and big up her own sexual prowess, which I don't think Carla is in any danger of believing. So later, Roy and Evelyn turn up at number 6 so that Betsy can tell them and Ryan about Carla's change of hotel, but not the name. Evelyn thinks this is evidence that Carla is deliberately ignoring Swain and that some people are just not cut out to be lesbian.
She's bisexual.
On Friday, when Becky checks in on Carla, Carla is able to give her a scratch down the face. And when she gets home, Becky blames it on a named feral cat, which I thought was weird. How long have you been back in the area? You're naming feral cats now? Swain helps her to tend to it. Becky tries to make another move, but Swain still isn't having it. So Becky gets on the phone And it seems that she's called in a favour from some twat. And that's as far as we get with that.
Is it soap again?
The irony. My assumption is that Becky is getting in touch with someone to kill Carla for her.
Right.
Because she's rubbish and can't do anything.
Right.
The fact, like you
Yeah,
said...
she's this
that
tough lady who's threatening Costello's kid and everything, but she doesn't do anything herself, which, she should learn from Harvey that if you don't do it yourself, that means mistakes happen, and also there's lots of people who can turn on you.
Yeah, if you don't do it yourself, it ain't getting done,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
Which is why Rick the Chin tried to kill Gary himself.
Right, yeah.
Don't leave it to no henchman.
Right, yes. Do it yourself in front of your beloved plant.
Right. And in the forest.
Yes. In front of lots of beloved plants.
Right. Some of them with very dusty leaves that must be attended to. I can't begin to imagine the ridiculous levels that this storyline goes to between now and when it gets its conclusion. But the fact that we've got yet another kidnapping story for Carla, the third one of the year, and you start to assess Carla's year as a whole, where she's had a kidney transplant, she's had a bleed in the brain, she's had sepsis, she's been kidnapped 3 times, and her factory's been broken into. It's like...
She's nearly died.
How many... She's pushed her own brother over a balcony, kinda.
Right. To which, let's point out, it was hard concrete and he didn't die. Even though his kidney started to bleed out, he didn't die. And yet Maggie's husband, 2 carpeted stairs. 2.
Yes. Poor Alan.
Uh,
I mean, it's
starting
just
to
such
feel...
a ridiculous litany of...
It's starting to feel a little dead Ted to me. Like, once upon a time, a writer had something against someone named Ted, and so named all of the characters who were going to die that year Ted. And this year it feels like somebody broke up with their wife named Carla.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Because it just feels like... It feels like poor summer, doesn't it? Carla is the summer of this year.
Yeah, where summer collapsed, Carla's kidnapped.
Right. Although Summer was also kidnapped. By Mike, who then got shoved.
Who got violently shoved.
Shoved
shoved
Mike.
I've been trying to find that clip for weeks. I can find the clip where Mike does get shoved. That's easy.
Right.
Wasn't that violent. But
No.
where Billy finds out that it was Paul what done it and not Todd, because Todd takes the blame for it.
Right.
If you know the episode, please let me know.
To which Billy doesn't care.
No.
If Todd pushed him, it's fine. If Paul shoved him, now we have a problem.
Yeah. So yeah, so we're just building and building and building the misery that's getting thrust upon Carla. And let's not forget, she's also been engaged and had that engagement break off when her ex's dead wife
shows up.
Turned up on the scene.
Also, wasn't it earlier this year that she found out that Peter was dating someone else, that Peter had moved on?
Yeah, it would have been, I think.
Which is when she finally gave herself permission to move on herself. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, she's not going to be looking back at 2025 with much...
In fairness, are any of us? It was a shit year all around, wasn't it?
Year. It has been a shit year. Oh well. We'll move on to Shona Up the Duff. On Monday, Shona drags David along to an antenatal class when he could be shooting zombies in his pyjamas. Well, they shouldn't be wearing his pyjamas then.
That's right.
He isn't happy that he has to mingle and ends up insulting the woman who runs the group by calling it a load of old shite. The woman that is running the group reminded me of the baddie from Weapons. He then...
They have the same hairstyle, yes.
He then is an asshole during the balloon visualization exercise, so Shona volunteers him for a muscle contraction distraction device, which shuts David the fuck up now that he's been threatened with torture.
Yeah.
These are quite fun scenes.
And it's funny because they're like, oh no, we can't actually do it for liability reasons. This is the device that lots of TikTokers use to mimic what menstruation feels like
Right.
to men. So obviously it can't possibly be that dangerous, just painful.
Oh no, I think you're allowed to do it in your own spare time.
Right, but not in like a demonstration in a class in a hospital.
Right.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's a whole
Totally
liability. But
totally should have done it anyway, though.
I thought they were going to do it anyway.
The lady
because
from-
it was such a shit.
The lady from Weapons would have totally done it,
Yes.
and then stolen David's hair and made him run like
Nataro. I like the scenes in that little session because David is such a man about it
The way that he's like talking to this woman
that he doesn't know.
that he doesn't know, and then finds out that she's the instructor, which he should have been able to figure out anyway, because that woman is demonstrably not pregnant.
Right.
But
She
it
was very enthusiastic. I liked her.
She was.
She's been given a small role in a national institution, and she has given it everything that she's got for the balloon
in her
visualization. thing.
terrible wig.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And she reminded me that it's been a while since we've seen DS Fringe as well. On Christmas Day, dinner at number 8 has a random visit from Mary and Brian. Mary
Yes.
revealing that she shagged someone in a plane over the Grand Canyon once. David
Makes
has
sense.
David has sand under his foreskin because his present from Gail has gone missing. And it's gone missing in the mail. Later, Bethany finds the present behind the bin and David tears it open like a 5-year-old. It's a vagus nerve stimulator, which Bethany thinks is a vibrator or something.
Right, yes. But it's to help him sleep.
Then Gail sends a video to them on Plat Chat. Not even a real video.
No, yeah, it's not even a Zoom call.
It's not a conversation between
not
them.
a
That's what I was
conversation.
hoping for.
Yeah.
It's her first anniversary and she thanks him for his extra large jar of olives.
Which is hilarious.
They're all in her thoughts.
Because Gail loves olives.
She's pissed and she quotes "Oh Little Town of Bethlehem" and then fucks off back to Jesse.
Right, yeah. She quotes, "The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight." And it's like, does she know who the thee is in that song? Because it ain't no Platt. Somebody else born on Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, it's a little town of Bethlehem, but you know what I mean.
I was pleased to see Gail.
Yes.
I think the message was dreadful.
It was. And it was also weird because it was very David centric. She doesn't say anything to Nick. She doesn't say anything to Sarah. She doesn't say anything to her mother.
Well, her mother's with her.
Oh, that's right. Audrey. Yeah.
We
She can't be bothered to be in the video, though, Audrey.
No.
Or her husband. It's just Gail in a nondescript white room.
Which is, let's call it what it is, obviously Helen Worth's house. The complaint...
Or a background.
The complaint that I saw that I entirely agree with is that the message was coming from Helen Worth more than it was coming from Gail. And I found that as well. You know how I complained about the monologue not being Gail?
Yeah.
Well, the monologue feels 100% more Gail than that message did.
I heard some people speculate that Helen Worth's health may not be great at this time. That the reading seemed kind of slow and stunted.
Mm-hmm. She sounded drunk.
I don't think she was drunk, but yeah. So that may be the reason why they didn't do it.
Well, that would be sad if that's the case. But
live necessarily, but
because we complain about this sort of thing. Well, we complain about lots of things all the time.
We do.
But we complain about once you go out, you're never seen again. You don't come back for important milestone events and stuff like that. So at least they were doing something.
Aggie sent presents to her sons.
The identical presents to her sons.
Right, yes. And doesn't come to see them or hand in them to them herself.
So the fact that we saw Gail was a little break from that. And when we knew that this was going to happen, like I said, I was expecting a bit of a to and fro on a FaceTime chat or some such, or a Zoom call, a plat Zoom call or something like that. So for it to be a one-way
Not
conversation,
very well lit. Echoey.
it's a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
What it did give us, though, was David being absolutely upset about not getting a present from his mum and saying how not upset he was, and everyone not buying it for a minute. Because his wee face lights up
Right.
when the present is
Right.
found, and his wee face lights up when he sees his mum,
Right.
albeit in a video message.
And you know, and she specifically thanks him for the jar of olives. Doesn't thank
The
Sarah
extra large.
or Nick for any gifts they may have sent.
Well, maybe she sent them separate messages.
No, this video is on Plat Chat, so anybody could watch it at any time. They all got the same message. It's on Plat Chat, as New Face Lily is quick to point out.
I had no idea who that was.
New Face Lily.
It took a ridiculous length of time to drop. I was like, who's that lassie?
It's funny because she looks an awful lot like the actress playing Holly Wheeler in season 5 of Stranger Things, and their hair was done in similar ways. So that was kind of funny to me, you know, watching one and then watching the other on the same day yesterday. But yeah, I mean, I suppose we should just be happy that we got anything.
Yeah, and that's the position I'm taking.
Because as I just pointed out with the whole Aggie thing, although I can understand why we're not getting video messages from Aggie.
Oh, it's easier just to do nothing.
Yeah, it's easier just to do nothing. And lots of families, we do get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, you know, they did that whole montage, Fairy Tale New York.
The yearly montage, yes.
And, you know, they're very selective on which families they put in that montage.
Mm-hmm. The families that are going to be in the episode.
Right, yeah. You know, where you expect to see more families.
Yeah.
Or more families with children.
It was a nice touch. I wish they'd just maybe thrown a little bit more at it and made it a bigger deal.
Right. But again, if Helen Worth's not up to it.
Sure. All right, we'll move on to Theo No Sleeves. On Wednesday, Theo is criticising Todd for trying to get a picture straight on the wall, then makes him sit on the floor.
A hideous,
It was awful.
Thomas Kincaid-like piece of... It didn't even look like a painting. It looked like a print of a painting. And it lit up.
It looked like an advent calendar. A trashy advent calendar is what I thought it was.
It was terrible. And yet Theo supposedly made a beeline for it when his uncle died. Which means Theo has no taste or sleeves.
He tells Todd to sit on the floor between his legs and tells him that his Christmas will be better off without Eileen, who never stopped complaining about when she was here. And then he wants his hole. Todd is unhappy with all of this. So to cheer him up, Theo invites Billy, Summer, George, Glenda and Christina over for Christmas.
Yay!
Because none of them have plans for Christmas, especially not Billy, who's a vicar.
Right, yes. And also, I've invited all these people over and you're going to cook for them.
Yes.
Fuck you.
So on Christmas Day, Todd's flat is packed with far too many people. Summer and Todd talk about her present to him, which is tickets to an Andrew Scott retrospective.
Woohoo! Hot priest.
Theo doesn't know Todd was an admirer of his work, but more of an admirer of his arsehole, says Christina, and everyone laughs. Theo is fuming, so after dinner, when everyone else is playing charades, Theo tries to call his kids, but they don't answer, and when Todd checks them, he snaps at them, making everyone turn and distracting them from George's marvellous attempt to finish off 3 men from Verona.
Am I supposed to find that funny?
You're allowed to laugh at that. Later, Christina was trying to finish off an officer and a gentleman.
Well, and she succeeded.
In record time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Richard Gere. How could you not?
Later, Theo starts yawning dramatically and making sly digs at Todd for being drunk and having a thing for Andrew Scott, and this makes Billy very uncomfortable. With everyone gone, Todd thanks Theo for his phone and his patience today. He got a phone for a Christmas present. Theo thinks Todd was being sarcastic and goes to hit him, but then goes off to bed instead. How everyone can sit round that table and not see the absolute fear in Todd's eyes.
I don't know.
Because it's not like he's Gareth is a very good actor, but it's not that Todd is a good actor and being able to cover this. He's flinching. He's obviously very much on edge. He's looking at Theo for reassurance all the time that,
Right.
that nothing bad's about to happen.
Right, yeah.
Or that Theo isn't upset about something.
Right.
And he's got very, very
He
credible
seems-
micro expressions that Gareth Pierce is doing that is selling this 100%.
Absolutely. Like, he seems very cagey and seems to want to shut Summer up about his gift,
Right.
as if he knows that. And apparently, this retrospective includes a Q&A with one Andrew Scott. So, where's Summer getting this kind of money? Where's she getting Andrew Scott money? Ha-ha.
Yeah, what's Billy getting? Fuck all.
Fuck all.
On Friday, next morning, Theo has booked Todd a mini break, but it's on the weekend of the Andrew Scott
retrospective, yeah.
Festival. He feigns surprise when Todd explains and then gets a violin out that he'll...
Well, it wasn't on the calendar. It wasn't on the calendar
Is it? Well, yeah, I only found out about it
yesterday. You didn't put it on the calendar.
He gets a violin out that he'll have to cancel as he doesn't want Todd to resent him. So Todd meets someone in the pub later and has to break the news that the Andrew Scott Festival Q&A thing is off the cards.
Well, it's off the cards for him. She can still go.
Yeah, Todd is on his way home and he's hesitant about going home.
Yeah.
He looks up at the flat and he stops. And this allows Billy to come out of the corner shop and he's disappointed that Todd has blown off Summer, who has been planning this for months. And he blames Theo for it. He says, "You've changed." "Oh, fuck off, Billy," says Todd. And that's as far as we get with that.
Yeah, and Billy rightly says that hotel will still be there. This retrospective is one day.
Yep.
But again, I mean, this is the irrational bit of Theo, that he's jealous of Andrew Scott. He thinks Andrew Scott's going to take one look at Todd and say, "That's it.
Yep.
Come with me, young man.
I'm quitting acting.
I'm just going to shag this man for the rest of my life."
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Never-
neither of us know Andrew Scott. That could be a possibility.
You know, never mind that I've already, in movies, shagged men like Paul Mescal. No, I'm going after Todd.
Oh, yeah. Again, just finding it difficult to think of new ways to say how much I hate this relationship
And we hate Theo.
and how long it's getting dragged out for. I mean, if I had a choice between this or the Sucks to be a Webster getting dragged out, I'd much rather Sucks to be a Webster gets dragged out and this one gets brought to a halt.
Right, yeah. I feel the same way about the Becky thing.
Yeah, 100%.
I would much rather watch Carl manipulate and steal from his dying sister with dementia than watch anything with Becky or Theo ever again.
Yep.
I'm just so totally not invested in either one of those stories. In fairness to Theo and Todd, that story at least makes sense.
Yeah, and I do feel an investment in Todd.
Right, yes.
I'm not too sure that I like the way that Todd's character has evolved this year,
No.
but at least I feel something for Todd. At the moment, I'm feeling nothing for Becky. And I'm going to say I'm not really feeling
Feel
anything for Swain either.
No. Or really Carla. I feel a little bit more for Carla, but not too much, because it just, stuff like Lisa having sex with Becky this week just makes me feel like Carla's better off without. So I don't really care if this is the way this relationship ends, as long as it ends.
Where I care about Carla is when she's fiery and she's fighting back.
Right.
And then I can remember, this is what I want. This is what I want from this.
Right.
Doesn't happen all that often.
Right. And also, as many people have kind of pointed out, I don't really feel for Carla when she is abusing her employees because she's mad about her personal life.
Well, welcome to corporate Weatherfield. All right, our next storyline, our penultimate storyline, is the New The Girls. Just a few scenes on Wednesday for this, Helen, just a few scenes.
Yes.
Sally is preparing a lovely Christmas with the New The Girls.
The girls.
Is working on doing something for Lou as well. And she takes the girls to the prison gates in the pish
And Brody.
and the pish and rain with a sign that says, "Merry Christmas, Mum." And somehow this gets back to Lou, who phones Sally later, speaks to the girls and thanks them Fucking yes, Queen, says Shanice. It's a Christmas miracle, says Sally. Wink. Tim doesn't say anything because he's not there.
No.
And what I missed the first time I watched it was that they've tipped off Lou that they're going to be outside the gate. So just pretend to Shanice that you saw it. Is the gist of what happened.
When did that happen?
It's a very throwaway line that that Sally says to Brody.
Oh. I quite liked Brody's involvement in this.
Yeah, me too.
The conspiring between Brody and Sally.
Mm-hmm.
That made me happy.
What I also liked about Brody this week was when he was in the fridge and they asked if he could have some gherkins or whatever. And Sally says, of course, just help yourself. And he's like so made up about this.
Yeah. The boy loves his pickles.
Aye.
But not like that.
This is so delightful.
It is. It is. I am so glad that they have put these kids with Sally and Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it sparks new life into characters who have a very, very steady relationship that if they did anything to this relationship, people would riot.
Yep. It amuses me that we could riot about this in Eaton Rapids, Michigan, and
Yes.
people would be like, what the fuck are they rioting about?
It's like that time that I booed Tim's dad in Wonka.
Yes.
And I do it again. They take these two beloved characters who are in this beloved relationship. They're like, what do we do to make Sally and Tim interesting again? And actually, they've given Sally more than this because she's part of the Ladies Who Lunch as well, which I think is fantastic and delightful, and I love it.
Yeah, there was a little mention of a threesome at some point.
Right. Yes, and also apparently Sally is also a member of the Mile High Club, which absolutely. So so they give them these foster kids, and it's just so fantastic because we get to see them as parents again. We've never really seen Tim as a parent
Right.
before, and it's brought them closer together in their relationship. It's given them new things to talk about. And also those kids are fantastic.
Yeah.
Even Brody is growing on me when he's with Sally and Tim.
Yes.
Brody with Bernie or Kit, not as much.
Right, I agree. Yeah, a part of that family dynamic, it works very well. I'm glad that they've had this the sense to make Joni a little difficult, and they really have to work on that to make that okay.
Right.
Because it's not plain sailing for them. It's something that they have to work on, and it's things that Sally realises that are shortcomings that belong to her in a lot of ways, and how we're all learning. And there was that beautiful line a couple of weeks ago when Sally was reminded by Fizz that she had years to build a relationship with the original The Girls, and here she's just having weeks to do the same. But it's true, and the way that they're showing it is, especially over Christmas, has just been so rewarding. And if I have one slight disappointment in it, is that we just didn't get enough of it.
Right.
These scenes that were on Wednesday, and Wednesday was one of the half-hour episodes.
Right. And they're in the montage.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
But with it being a half-hour episode, you imagine these C storylines or D storylines that would normally maybe get 5 scenes or something, or 4 scenes over an hour, end up just getting 2 over half an hour.
2.5.
And it feels very, very short. But
Right.
I just loved it.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
really
way
nice.
that the little outing to the prison was
Right,
somehow wholesome.
Yes. And I think one of the things, as we're talking about, I'm thinking about it. I think the thing that I like is that, we see this personality shift in Brody from when he's in the house with Sally and Tim and when he's out of the house. And it's because Sally and Tim's house is a safe place for him to be. It's a safe place for his sisters. He gets to relax. And there are no expectations put on him. except to, be good and polite and clean,
Right.
Whereas out there are these expectations that he kind of glom on and accept Kid as his father, glom on and accept Bernie as his grandmother, who throws all these expectations on him. Like, here's 20 quid, go make friends with this kid that you don't know, who's younger than you. None of that is put on him at Sally and Tim's house.
No, he gets all the pickles he can eat.
Right, exactly. And I think that's kind of nice, and I like that they make this distinction.
I agree.
Yeah.
Our final storyline tonight is the Driscolls at Christmas. On Monday, Eva Cakes catches Megan sneaking out of Daniel's early in the morning. The filthy stop out. She's about to tell Ben, but she's interrupted by Susie and Will coming in. Susie wants a baby brother or sister for Christmas, and this seems to take the wind out of Eva's sails, but gets Ben full of those kind of ideas.
If you know what I mean.
Meanwhile, Carl lets Maggie know that Eva's credit card was found in the rape hotel. Maggie tells Ben, who knows why it was there, and explains about Will getting his hole with Chloe from Hull. So Maggie obviously lectures Will about prophylactics as soon as the opportunity presents itself, and of course this happens behind the bar in public. Eva is very upset outside and is found by Adam, and she explains that she's not a very nice person and she's a liar. Adam doesn't think that she had a choice, and it sounds like she aborted their baby or a baby. She thanks Adam for his support and gives him a hug, which is seen by Susie. And Susie obviously lets Maggie know about this.
Right. She's like, why are you hugging that man? Because this is Susie. Susie, who tells Shona she's having a geriatric pregnancy.
Yes.
I love that kid.
Yeah, I quite like that kid. Precocious.
Yes.
Just a little.
She's like a Lady Sam.
She is. She's like a young Eva.
Yeah, which fits.
But maybe a bit...
better vocabulary.
Yeah, better vocabulary.
Yeah.
Megan goes to see Will at the pub after Ben and Maggie have told her about Chloe. He promises that he would step up if he knocked her up. Romance is dead.
Foreshadowing. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. This goes back to our little...
It's so gross the way he says it, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so gross.
Yeah, he wants it to sound romantic because this is what a 16-year-old thinks is a romantic thing to say.
Right, yeah.
I would stand by you if I knocked you up.
Yeah. And she's like, no, thank you.
On Wednesday, Eva meets Adam in Nina's Rolls and wants to speak about yesterday and tells her that she was grieving the loss of a baby and not to torture herself. And he tells her of a client who felt terrible grief and guilt over their termination and wrote a letter to the dead baby.
Forced termination, which is horrifying. Like her partner forced her to have an abortion.
So Eva goes and does that. To return the favour, she agrees to hide Alia's Christmas present in her purse. Maggie sees the two of them talk and spots this last bit. First chance she gets, Maggie snatches a bag, finds the box present marked for Alia, and then she reads the letter where it seems that Eva was pregnant with Ben's baby, wasn't ready to have another kid, so terminated it.
Right, yes, but
Adam was her confidant throughout.
Right, but very importantly, that letter does not say anything about who the father of this baby is.
No, and I think I changed my opinion that when it was first mentioned, I thought, oh, was there something between Adam and Eva?
Adam and Eva had a relationship.
They had
at
a
some
relationship,
point.
but was there something where there was a baby, but there was only Susie, and Susie was Aidan's.
Right.
But was there any confusion over that? No, it seemed that they were giving us information that maybe that we should have known, but I don't think, obviously now I don't think that there was.
But the way Adam and Eva were talking, and the way Adam was saying, quite wrongly, I think, that she shouldn't tell Ben about it because it would just muddy the waters, and what's done is done. That's what made me think it was Adam's baby that she aborted.
Oh, see, I don't think I felt that too much because he seemed very blasé about it.
Well, he would, wouldn't he?
Yeah, maybe not.
Especially if it was a relationship that was very brief, that they both agreed that it was the right thing to do.
Maggie is delighted to get this intel, and she invites Adam and Alia over for Christmas dinner, intends to put on a show. Hopefully she keeps her clothes on this time. On Christmas Day, It wouldn't be Christmas without a Christmas montage of families opening presents and all that shite. And this one is to the tune of Fairy Tale of New York, which will become a recurring motif. It's Christmas Eve, babe, said
Right.
Swain.
Whoa.
At the pub, Maggie is being her usual fucking cow self to Eva, who tries to rise above it. And I think I was 2 minutes into the episode where I said out loud,
"Oh, fuck off, Maggie."
Said it a lot.
Said it so often that I've had to make a button.
"Oh, fuck off, Maggie."
Adam and Alia arrive, and he wastes no time in asking her to move in with him into Kit's old flat. She agrees. Daniel arrives with Bertie, who already hates everyone in the pub, and Maggie insists that he stays for dinner. Despite only going out with Megan for a week, Daniel has got her a weekend away at a spa because he's a creepy fucker.
Yes.
Then Eva suddenly realises that her letter is missing, and privately she tells Adam. Eva reckons that this is Maggie's doing, but then Ben walks in on Eva and Adam in the back room holding hands, and he's a little miffed by this but lets it go. Over dinner, Maggie begins an elaborate preamble before dropping her bomb, as Daniel suggests that Will might be more comfortable sitting at the kids' table. That was for Daniel, that was quite funny.
Yeah.
Will says that it's weird as fuck buying a spa weekend for someone you don't know, but everyone ignores him. Then it's Secret Santa time, and Ben's gift is Eva's letter.
Right, so it's... What does Maggie think a Secret Santa is? Because Secret Santa is meant to be something that different people buy secretly for other people, not one person buying secret gifts for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really Secret Santa, it's Maggie handing gifts out to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not Secret Santa.
That's not Secret Santa.
But it's Eva's letter. And Ben starts reading out a letter to Eva's dead baby.
Right, yes. And then he stops, and then Maggie's not like, no, continue to read out loud this letter to an aborted baby in front of Susie.
No, Susie's upstairs with the kids.
Oh, that's right.
Eva calls Maggie a bitch, as Maggie announces it's evidence of an affair. It seems Ben has gone back to his wife at this point where Eva was pregnant, but there was no affair, and while everyone is jumping on the bandwagon of Maggie being a psychotic cunt, Ben punches Adam in the face. Eva screams that she wasn't having an affair, and it was Ben's baby, and this shuts everyone up. Through the back, Basil Exposition shows up to explain that as far as Eva knew, she and Ben were splitsville for good because he'd gone back to the dragon, his wife.
Yes.
And the
And
only
he says,
reason
don't call her that.
And the only reason Adam was involved in any of this was because she bumped into him at a conference in Hull or something, and he was a supportive friend. Ben does the right thing, sides with Eva, and decides to throw Maggie out. Good for you, Ben.
Yes. Yeah, it's nice because he kept constantly just making excuses for her over and over and over again. It was like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm. But finally, the line has been crossed. Whatever that line was, or whatever the specifics of it were,
right.
Maggie has well crossed at this time.
But it makes it all the more confusing why Adam convinced Eva not to tell Ben about this when she's like, I should just tell Ben.
Yeah.
You should tell Ben.
Yeah.
This is important information for Ben to have.
Mm-hmm. So Adam says, don't tell Ben so that this can happen.
Right, yeah. But it makes it all the more confusing that he would give such advice, whereas it would make sense if it was Adam's baby.
Right. Yeah, I suppose. Ben apologises to Adam while Will maintains an impressive amount of snark directed at Daniel, which, if I'm honest, I'm lapping up. Because Daniel, for some reason, is getting very involved in all this.
Right, yes, because, Adam
calling Maggie a cow.
Uncle.
What kind of mother would do this?
Right.
And all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, he's defending Adam. It's okay. But it is also very much Daniel shaming a woman. So he does love to shame women.
He does. Daniel tells Will that he's as weird as his granny. Will then goes to have a go at Megan about this, but she can't be bothered dealing with him when he's been swigging away from the same bottle of beer all fucking day. Maggie has indeed been chucked out and runs into Roy and Evelyn on Maxine's bench. Maggie explains that she's fallen out with Ben and everything went awry. Roy takes her to the rape hotel where Maggie expects an upgrade. And then we see Daniel is flat out unconscious in the ginnel.
Yeah. He's lying there. Just lying there.
It's just lying there,
Lying there.
minding his own business.
Spoilers for this event and articles for this event made it seem like more damage had been done to whoever was lying in the gunnel
Yeah.
than what has been done to Daniel, who does not even have a bruise on his head.
No jam on his face.
No jam on his face. Nothing. This is supposed to be Evelyn finding someone.
Oh, Evelyn hasn't found him yet.
Right. This is supposed to be someone who has been left for dead,
Yes.
clinging to life.
At Christmas.
Right, yes. There's no jam even on his shirt, his sweater, his festive Christmas sweater.
Yeah, it took me a while until the camera cut. I was like, who's that? Oh, it's Daniel.
Yeah.
Excellent. Daniel's dead.
So,
I mean,
so Billy does not die tonight.
yeah, that's a shame. The
casual way you say that.
The thing that I took from this the most, though, was this isn't Maggie's first time at being thrown out of Ben's house. The way she would just, fine, I'll just leave.
Right. Well, also, I think she realizes that what she has done is very horrible.
I don't think she realises that at all. I think the fact that it was Ben's baby and
makes it worse.
And Eva wasn't having an affair is by the by.
Right, yeah. Although, she does make a dig about how Eva denied her a grandchild.
Oh, she hasn't done that yet either.
Oh, well, she will.
On Friday, Evelyn's walking Freddie, and she's the one who finds Daniel sparked out in the ginnel. Megan catches wind of this soon enough, as Maggie and Will look shocked for different reasons in Nina's roles. There's very sad news at the hospital.
Daniel will live.
Ken, Evelyn and Adam are already there as Megan and Maggie show up. Maggie very keen to find out what Daniel remembers. And this is just...
Or, and
makes it so obvious.
Sure that he's alive.
But she's not really making sure... She's making sure what he remembers first and foremost.
Yes.
And it makes what I think is supposed to be a surprise later on not a surprise in the slightest.
No.
He remembers nothing. His wallet and watch have been nicked, though. At the pub, Maggie refuses to apologise to Eva, but then asks Will if he has anything he wants to get off his chest. And Will confesses that he was the one who twatted Daniel over the head in our headwound of the week.
Headwound of the week.
But he swears that he didn't steal anything from him. Will is happy to admit that he wanted to kill Daniel and said it was for the way that Daniel spoke to Maggie and for failing him in an English exam, which, understandable.
No.
Then comes in to announce that a homeless guy has been arrested for Daniel's assault as they found his wallet and watch on him. Will is in the clear. Maggie tells Will to work on Ben to forgive her, but that doesn't happen, and Maggie still refuses to apologise, so Ben chucks her out again. And an angry Maggie tells Evelyn that the ungrateful pricks don't know what lengths she goes to protect them. And then... we got a cheeky wee flashback, and surprise, surprise, Maggie was standing at the window, saw Will twat Daniel over the head.
Yes.
Or she didn't actually see it. But
Right.
saw Will run away, and it was Maggie who went down and stole Daniel's stuff and planted it on a tramp. And that's how we end this week's episodes.
We don't see the homeless man, though.
We don't.
We just see her kind of put them, like, in something, which I'm assuming is like the homeless man's bag or something that then the homeless man comes back for or something. I don't know. Important to note, though, if the police are any good at their jobs, if they dusted those items for fingerprints.
Fingerprints are so unreliable, though, Helen.
They would find Maggie's fingerprints, and why would Maggie's fingerprints be on Daniel's
They
wallet?
wouldn't find Maggie's fingerprints. They would find somebody's fingerprints who they don't know. But they would probably also find the homeless person's fingerprints, and that would be enough.
But would they? Because if she planted them in his bag and he didn't know about it, would he have touched them? And also, you don't think that Maggie doesn't have a rap sheet where her fingerprints would be on file?
But no, but are they going to just Why would they check for?
If the homeless man
They're
insists,
going to find Daniel's fingerprints. Does
Right.
that mean that Daniel did it?
but they will find Maggie's as well.
I don't know. I think you're putting
If-
far too much faith into fingerprint technology.
If the homeless man insists that he didn't do it, is what I'm saying. Anyway,
Nobody cares about the homeless man.
no, this show has clearly
Since
proven
Stu, nobody
it
cares.
does not care about homeless people.
No.
Poor what was her name? Sean's friend, Karen.
Poor homeless Karen.
Yes.
She got involved in the double glammy stuff, and that was worse than the homelessness.
Right. Yes. The show really doesn't want us to like Maggie, does it?
Well, I thought the show was desperate for us to love Maggie. And I thought the Kate Brooks interviews recently were the Driscolls being the centre of the show, which I agree has happened. That they were the centre of Christmas, which I agree has happened. That they're a lot of fun, which I don't think has happened.
No.
And that we're going to love them, which I don't think has happened either.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I quite like Ben, though.
I like Ben. I like Eva. I like Susie. I don't mind Ollie. We got a little.
Ollie's nothing now. Have you noticed how Ollie is nothing?
I liked how there's some foreshadowing there of Ollie and Kelly getting together.
Yeah.
Not
She
Kelly,
seems
Lauren.
very young. Yes, she seems very young for him, but
She's 19. She's got a baby already.
yeah, he was ready for all guns blazing with Dee Dee, who very much isn't 19.
No. Right, but it will be gross because it's once again Dee Dee and Lauren sharing a man. Even though Dee Dee's now gone.
Yikes.
Yeah, the show really should think about these things before they start putting them together. But
yes, I very much hated Maggie before it was fashionable to do so.
and also the show doesn't seem to understand what people want for Christmas.
No.
The Christmas week is supposed to be Christmassy and fun. We get that with Sally and the kids. And that's it.
Oh, we got a bit of it with David and the...
Well, yes. We get the Platts and we get Sally and the kids. And everything else is more of... We get Lisa cheating on Carla. We get Carla kidnapped. We get Theo once again, terrorizing Todd. We do get Ladies Who Lunch, which was nice. And we do get the Madness Stag Party, which was fun. With the cutouts of Debbie and
Those
Ronnie.
were great.
Those were great. Yes.
Especially the Debbie one.
Right. Yes.
I want one of them.
Yeah. Coronation Street, you are missing money if you don't put those in your shop. ASAP.
Right.
I also want that painting of Debbie with the bubblegum bubble.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's been a far darker Christmas than I would have liked. I don't think it was a bad week.
But it was a bad Christmas week.
The bits that we are looking for, the bits of fun and Christmassy stuff, we're having to mine it from incidental parts of
Right.
darker storylines.
This is stuff that should happen weeks that aren't Christmas. And also, I would argue that the whole Driscoll thing with Eva's secret aborted baby doesn't really feel all that Christmassy either. And Daniel getting clocked in the head or just tripped over a rock. Who knows what happened because there's no jam on him.
Yeah, he recovered far too quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. When he's supposedly, according to the spoilers, on death's door.
And he was infuriatingly annoying
Insufferable.
in the hospital.
So insufferable.
Afterwards. I do like Will sniping him.
Yeah.
In the same way that I enjoyed Max sniping at Daniel.
Right.
Max, by the end, had no real reason to hate Daniel as much
No.
as he did, but
He just continued to do
he
it.
kept it up.
Yeah.
And I really, really liked that. So the fact that Will has kind of fill in those boots whilst also filling the boots of the Simon scowl.
And let's not forget, Brody had a few digs at Daniel as well when Daniel was teaching him English and trying to associate The Sopranos with Macbeth or something.
Oh, who knows?
Anyway.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was necessarily a bad week, but I would have liked a little bit more Vickers playing the piano and the cobbles
Right.
type stuff.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad week, but it wasn't a Christmas week either.
Yeah. I don't imagine that Maggie's going to be thrown out for any length of time. They are putting an awful lot of eggs into that particular part of the Driscoll basket. But I think you're right. I think it's misjudged that this caricature of the protective or overprotective,
overbearing
Irish mammy is very much turning into a pantomime villain.
Yeah.
We got a little inkling of this at the start when Ben was going to spark out Carol and Maggie seemed disappointed that he didn't.
Right.
So we know that she's not a traditional mother figure.
Right.
Which is what she wants, violence, and she wants...
Because she's Irish.
Right, exactly, which I don't particularly care.
No, I don't like that at all.
Perpetuating that.
And yet also we get the Irish Catholic granny who's really offended that Will has had sex.
Mm-hmm. I'm not buying it. I don't... I liked... And even though that he hit Adam, I liked that Ben was able to...
apologize.
Yeah, realise it was in the wrong.
Right.
That he really was reacting to the way that Adam seemed to be smirking. And Adam did seem to be smirking, and I'm not sure what he was smirking at.
In fairness, Adam is always smirking.
Right.
That's his face. That's his resting smirk face.
Indeed.
Because he's Scottish.
So that even when he does wrong, I'm finding it easy to like Ben.
Yeah. Also, probably the best Christmas shirt this week. A button-down shirt with all the Santa heads. I liked that.
He had a scrum one. A Christmas pun that involved the word scrum.
Yeah, but the Christmas Day was this blue button-down shirt with Santa heads all over it, which I really liked.
It's very, very amusing to see someone walked up into a state wearing that kind of shirt.
Yes.
All right, well, that was the week that was Coronation Street then, Helen. I was expecting this to be a shorter episode, and it isn't at all. What was your festive moment of the week?
Gail and David.
Was it? That was disappointing.
Well, just how made up David was by getting that present and how upset he was when the present was missing. And when he went to Tim and Sally's because Bethany said, doesn't that look like Sally and Tim's doorstop?
So David finding the present more than David getting the message then.
Right, I guess. What was your moment of the week?
I liked the charades. I liked the banter between George and Christina and everyone. I liked everyone at Todd and Theo's, apart from Todd and Theo. I thought all of that was quite good value for money.
Right, yeah, it's just... Or is it... No, it's the hen do, which Debbie didn't show up for. That was... Or is it it's the Madness Stag Party? It's one of those two, which were both delightful. And Sally talking about having sex in planes.
I think the hen do has it.
Yeah, the hen do.
Give it to the hen do. That's
Yeah.
our
Moment of the week.
Moment of the week.
boring moment of the week.
If the show was just those women
Oh,
sitting
no.
around a table getting drunk, if that's all the show ever showed me, I would be a pig in shit. I would love it.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see, is those women cackling at one another, wearing bright clothes.
Yeah. We can dream. Your
Yeah.
boring moment of the week.
Daniel wasn't really boring this week,
No.
which was a shame.
I think it's Becky's incarceration of Carla. That's pretty dull.
Or
Because it's been done for the third time.
Becky feeding Carla food. Or Becky bragging about having sex with Lisa.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's her only line of attack.
Right, yeah. I'm better at sex than you.
No, you're not.
No,
Next,
you're not.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
That's our...
Boring moment of the week.
I'm really quite sad that we didn't get any more boring Christmas trivia.
Did we get some of that?
Do you forget Ken's Yule log?
Oh, God. Yes, I did.
And the brooms in Norway?
The brooms in Norway. That sounds like a You and I special.
Yes. And Maggie thought we were in Mexico.
Yay!
So, yay, meh, zzz section, where we now have actually a completed poll, which we don't normally have, because normally it's run by the time we're doing this. Getting people's thoughts on the festive dollop of Coronation Street that they got. I'm voting for zzz, yay, or meh, and the results were zzz, 30.5%, meh, 40%, and yay, 29.5%. So the mehs have it.
Right, yeah, for a Christmas week.
Yeah, I know, that's a little disappointing, isn't it?
It is.
You got to be a little upset at that.
Well,
Holly writes, I really just hate Maggie. An act of pure spitefulness for what? Because she couldn't be bothered to chat to Eva to find out the truth. The sooner she's written out, the better. Just truly vile. Nice to see that we can 100% count that Becky is evil too. Jamie says, it had its moments, but the Secret Santa reveal over Christmas dinner hadn't earned its place. Just felt horribly contrived, and had really come from nowhere. Carla really didn't look like she'd been in a cupboard for days. Nice to see Gail, but a bizarre out-of-character speech. I agree with that as well. Thank you for your thoughts. We don't let that influence us. We don't let the scores influence us, which makes us think, why do we bother doing it? But Helen, what was your score out of 10 for this festive week?
Now, I'm going to give it a 5.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't Christmas week, I would have given it a 7.
Oh.
Because I think you're right. I think it was a decent enough week, but it wasn't a Christmassy week.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's a disappointment.
Yeah, 5.5 for me. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than you, but disappointed
Not
that
much.
they didn't get much of the festiveness. And even the Driscolls having their little Christmas round the table. If that had been allowed to run a bit longer before Maggie ruined it, maybe that would have been a bit better.
Or just not had Maggie ruin it.
And not
just
have
kind of
Daniel there.
Slipping it under the tree for Ben to read later, as opposed to trying to do the max amount of damage possible publicly in front of all of these people, most of whom she doesn't know.
Yeah, just annoying. If I wanted that, I'd be watching Mrs. Brown's Boys.
And nobody wants that.
All right, we'll wrap this one up then. This episode was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast. Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Rory Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Jackie B, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Stephen, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephine Tingy, Anne Greenwood, Trish R, Sarah Purbrick, Ali Q, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Sealmer Fridge, Pamela, Marge JT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry in LA, Joe T, Corey Dales, Matthew McInerney, Aussie Ali, Welsh Emma, Matthew S, Rachel B, Uranium Jennifer, Caroline and Amy Metcalf, and Catherine Montero. Thank you ever so much, folks. We really appreciate it. If you've ever made a dog balloon, write in to tell us about it. We're the talkofthestreet@gmail.com, and we're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. Or you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one, and in this month's classics we're talking about episode 2790. Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast at ko-fi.com/thetalkofthestreet, or patreon.com/thetalkofthestreet, or youtube.com/thetalkofthestreet podcast. Check out voggle.co.uk for links to our merch store, YouTube channel and blog. And if you're so inclined, please leave a rating and add a review on the iTunes or your podcast provider of choice. And be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
Coming soon, our favourite movies of the year.
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
A Talk of the Street.
The Talk of the Street.
Bye.
Cheerio.